So far, we have talked about the first three steps: know yourself, love yourself, and be yourself. And now it's time to choose yourself. Now, what do we mean by that? I mean, choose your past, choose your present, and choose your future. What does it mean to choose your past? Many of us go through life feeling kind of like victims of our own upbringing, our own childhood, our own parents, etc. Many of us have had challenging experiences, and we can stay stuck in that mode of being a victim of our own lives and have that feeling of woe is me, like why did I have these kinds of parents or were born into these circumstances, etc. And what that does is it really disempowers you, because you're in a victim mode and you can blame so many things on your parents and on your childhood and so many other aspects of your life, right? And that's not very empowering. What I think is a better way to think about it is actually actively choose everything that has happened in your past and all of the people that you encountered, even the most difficult personalities. Consciously choose them. You cannot change the past. You might as well choose it, because then it can serve you. This came to me in that silent retreat at lunch time. When you go in for lunch and you're in complete silence, you're not allowed to communicate in any way. And so they had some volunteers who were behind the counter serving the food. You take a tray and then they just put food in your tray. They don't ask you what do you want and how much. You're not even supposed to point and communicate in any way. And it occurred to me that that's a good metaphor for life. Life is not a buffet, and there's no menu. You can order, I'll have this kind of a mother and this kind of father, and I'll be born into this kind of family and this culture and that religion in this country with this socioeconomic status, and I'll be the oldest child. You can't pick any of that. All of that is given to you. It's like you're given a tray full of stuff. This is your curriculum for this life. Some of that food might appear unappetizing, and some of it might be bitter when you taste it. But I believe you need all of it. Everything that life gave you is something that you need in order to evolve and grow and learn and become who you are meant to be and do the work that you are meant to do in this lifetime. All of those experiences shape you, and they allow you to learn and grow if you choose to look at them in that way. So you go back and you say, I choose to have that father, I choose to have that mother, I choose all of it. And now I can look for the gold in that, to say, what is it that I learned? Why did I have that experience? So for example, in my case, I was born into a very feudal, highly patriarchal and even misogynistic subculture in India, where I witnessed a lot of the abuse of women by the men, the abuse of the feminine. And I had to go through that experience, I realized at some point, because it sensitized me to the need for more feminine in the world, the need to empower and elevate the feminine, and write a book about that 55 years later, after I had that childhood. So in that way, you start to connect the dots between experiences that you had and challenges that you faced and what you learned from that and how that equipped you to do certain things that only you could do in this lifetime. So choose your past. Choosing your present is really about living with a deep sense of gratitude. Most of us have so much to be grateful for in life, in our own life circumstances, but even in the world, that we are able to live in, and all the beauty and of nature and all the bounty and abundance of food and the music and the art and the literature and all the things that we have access to. And most of us only focus on that which is missing, and we completely disregard all the other things that are in our life. And so we go through an exercise in the book, and when we teach this material, on having people recognize that you did not earn any of those things, and you don't deserve any of those things, and you're not even grateful for most of those things at most of the time. And so what if you take away everything from your life that you didn't earn and you are not grateful for, or you don't actually deserve? And then you see what life feels like, right? So cultivating that deep sense of gratitude and having a practice, a gratitude journal, and just noticing all the things that are right in your life and in the world. So that's about choosing your present. And then choosing your future is really about embracing what is known as the hero's journey. In order to evolve to the next level and face the challenges that you will need to face in this life, you have to become a new person, a different version of yourself. You're going to have to go on what Joseph Campbell called the hero's journey, to find strengths and capacities that you didn't know that you had within yourself. But for that, you're going to have to step into the unknown and face situations that feel scary or dangerous. As Joseph Campbell said, the cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. So you have to be willing to say yes to that call to adventure, to take those risks, and ultimately to go on that journey where you will discover capacities within yourself, and you will discover another version of yourself and you never go back from that, right? You elevate yourself to a different level of being, and you're doing all of that on behalf of the world. You are conquering your fears, and you're taking on challenges so that you can bring something of value and meaning back to the community, back to society. So that's the hero's journey. So this is what it means to choose yourself, choose your past, choose your present, and choose your future. The next step is to express yourself. And this is really about, first of all, continuing on that theme, it's about choosing growth over safety. So often in life, we come to a fork in the road. One side lies growth and the other side lies safety. If you stay in the same job, if you live in the same city, if you just never really venture out into the world, you will always be in that cocoon of safety, but we're not meant to live our entire life in a cocoon. Cocoon is an intermediate stage of growth and transformation, even for a caterpillar, right? So we are meant to step outside of that, outside of our comfort zone, and prioritize choosing the path of growth over the path of safety, because if you always choose safety, that means you will never grow. And if you don't grow, that means you're essentially dying. As human beings, we are meant to grow from the day we are born until the day we die. So choosing the path of growth is very important. The second aspect of expressing yourself is to live consciously, to do everything with full awareness and consciousness and choice. Most of us go through life sort of on autopilot. We just automatically do the same things. We eat the same foods. We take the same route, when we're driving from one place to another. We listen to the same music. We have the same friends. We don't venture out, right? And it's very important to consciously make decisions, to walk consciously, eat consciously, work consciously, breathe. Everything that we do should be done with full consciousness and awareness, not from a place of compulsion or a place of habit, but actually operating with consciousness. And the third is to discover and then live your life's purpose. This is a very important quest that all human beings have to be on, searching for their purpose. What is my unique purpose in life? And it may evolve over time, but at any moment in time, there's something that you're meant to do, that you're going to be fully alive doing. So we take you through a journey of discovering what is that purpose. There are different modalities that we can use in order to discover that purpose, and then how do you live that? Because that's where you find the deepest fulfillment and the greatest impact in life, when you are truly living your purpose. So those are the next two steps: choose yourself and express yourself.